What is going on, you guys? First of all, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're checking out the brand new Audi S7, and big thank you to Audi of Fort Worth for letting me film this car. Link is in the description to their website. Be sure to check them out. Show them some love for letting me film this car for you guys. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. What is going on, you guys? So checking out the outside of the new Audi S7. Now visually, there's not much different between this and like a normal A7. You're gonna have different wheels, bigger brakes, different exhaust, a little bit different front end, and then of course your S7 badges, as well as blacked out trim going along the car. Other than that, you'd be really hard pressed to tell that this was an S7, of course, unless you heard it driving by you. But it's a beautiful vehicle, finished off in this beautiful red. This one, as is right around $106,000, which may sound like a lot of money, but this is definitely a lot of cars. So stay tuned if you guys want to see what all this thing has. Now, coming to the front, typical A7 design. I like the blacked out grille a little bit more. It just looks way more aggressive, and I think it fits the design very, very well. Even your Audi rings are going to blacked out. It's really cool. And then down here, of course, you have functional vents that are going to feed all of the intercoolers, all of the radiators, things like that. Full matrix LED lights on here, so your lights are full LED. I love how they have that little animation that they do. It looks really cool. The lights look very high end, and it's just a really nice look. Now coming up to the hood, you've got really nice lines, super sharp, and like physically sharp. If you were to ever go to an Audi dealership, just run your fingers across the lines and you can feel how physically sharp they are. It's pretty impressive. Then as you come down to the wheels, you've got these beautiful wheels right here. Now these were put on by Audi of Fort Worth, and I personally think that they look pretty good. They're 21-inch wheels, and these are gonna be, I believe, about 225, 35 tires all the way around, so a nice square setup. And man, this vehicle looks so good. You've got upgraded brakes here for the S7, and I really love this black and red color combo. It's definitely my favorite. Now moving back to the side profile, love that Sportback look. It's just a unique look that you don't see on a lot of cars. I mean, you have the Stinger GT and things like that, but this was the original, and it still does it so well. Now as we come to this back quarter panel view, I think that the exhaust fits this car more. I've seen like the RS7, obviously that looks a lot better because it's an RS vehicle, but this S7 is still a sharp looking car. So when you see this thing blowing past you, you're gonna know that it is an S7 just by these dual exhausts right back here. And of course you have your S7 badge. Even your Audi rings back here are gonna be blacked out. Once again, full LEDs, that same cool animation, and it still makes this car look incredible. You also have an active rear wing back here. I personally like it better when it's up. I think it just makes the car look very Panamera-esque, but a little bit better in my opinion. And then you've got this little like plastic diffuser down here, which is kind of meh, but you know, it adds to the sportiness of the car. But let's go ahead and take a listen to that exhaust.
Yeah, I'm so upset about that. All right, so before we get into the interior, one feature I want to mention on the exterior is this has rear steering. So the rear wheels will turn opposite from the front wheels at low speeds. You can actually see it doing it when you're like in a parking lot and things like that. And what that also does is it helps with turning radius. So this has an incredible turning radius, and it's much better than like an A7 that doesn't have the rear steering. But once you go higher speeds, it's going to turn the same direction as the front wheels, and it basically helps all your maneuvers be a lot more dynamic. So that's a pretty cool thing, and in combination with Quattro, I'm sure it helps this car handle incredibly well.
All right, you guys, so here's your key to get into the S7. So lock, hatch release, unlock your Audi symbol there. You're gonna have your S badge there in the back, your panic button, and then you have a physical key within here to get in if the battery on this were to die or if the battery on the car were to die. So obviously you can lock and unlock with this. There's also touch sensitive areas on the door that allow you to get into the vehicle as well. All right, you guys, so as we come to the inside of the S7, so it does have that 4-door coupe design. So what that means is you're not gonna get a frame around your window, it's just the window. So when the window's down, it has like a coupe-like effect, and it's really cool. It really makes you feel like you're in a much sportier vehicle versus like an A6. Coming to the door, we've got great use materials. You're gonna have Alcantara there in the middle, aluminum pieces accenting the top, and that's gonna flow right into your memory seats, 2 settings. You're gonna have stitching there. All of your mirror window controls are gonna be located right down here, as well as individual door locks, which is great. Your hatch release is gonna be right down here. Decent amount of cubby space. A speaker for your Bang & Olufsen sound system as you come up. You've got this real nice matte wood grain, and I think that looks fantastic. All of this is going to be leather stitched. Even your armrest is just super soft. Actually, it's not that soft. It's pretty tightly woven leather, so it is going to take a little bit of breaking in. Then as you come down here, you have an S branded door sill. It is going to light up as well, so that looks really nice. Aluminum pedals right down here. All of your controls for your seat. The leather quality, obviously being an Audi, it's incredible. And then right through the middle, you're going to have perforations with white stitching, and that's going to run all up the seat. And you can even see here on the door more of that Alcantara right there. It's just a really high-end cabin feel. Well, let's go ahead and hop in and we'll check out the rest of the car. All right, you guys, so shutting the door on the S7. Super solid shut. And now here's a full view of the interior. And as promised, I told you guys I would show you the ambient lighting in this car. So here is the beautiful ambient lighting inside of this car. It looks incredible. You have it all throughout the car, even down there beside where your knees would be. It's just a really beautiful look. Now, start stop button is going to be right down here. Foot in the brake, and you're gonna hit that to start. Nice. And there you go, beautiful startup. All your electronics turn on. And now starting with the steering wheel, you've got a really nice steering wheel. It's going to be perforated leather on the sides, smooth leather top and bottom. You're gonna have this stitching located right here in the middle. That's gonna look really good. You do have paddle shifters back here. I guess they're aluminum, but they sort of feel a little plasticky. I'll use those more once we go driving. Over here to the right, you have a lot of your media commands, so like your phone, voice commands, previous, next, volume. And over to the left, you're going to have this to control this screen here. So you can go through many different views, and it looks really cool switching between the like hockey puck and then the normal view. It just looks absolutely amazing. And this is Audi's virtual cockpit. So this is slightly different here in the S7 than it is in the A7. It's just a little bit more of a sportier design, but the graphics on here are incredible. I think it's like right behind, if not on par with some Teslas I've been in. It is so good. Definitely one of the best in the industry. And coming right behind here, you're gonna have automatic wipers, turn signals over here. You're going to have your lane keep, that far button there on the left. And then you're gonna have your cruise control located right down there. So I like how they still have a stock for it. That's one of my favorite things. You're going to have your lighting over here. So like fog lights, rear fog lights, automatic lights as well. Then as you come up, you're gonna have full Alcantara here on the headliner. It looks fantastic. Your Bang & Olufsen tweeters, they do pop up upon starting the car, and I think that looks incredible. You're going to have your head-up display floating right there. Love head-up displays. Seriously, my favorite invention in a car ever. This does have the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, so you do have a massive speaker. It's going to go here, and then you have another pop-up tweeter located right over there. Leather is going to feel incredible. Super solid dash. I mean, it is built to last. It's incredible, and I love how this is just one solid line that goes here. You've got your 3 vents right there, and then your final vent's going to be right over here to the left. Then you have this touchscreen. If you guys saw my A7 review, pretty much the same. You've got this nice like clicky feedback, and it feels really cool. Your Audi Drive Select, you can go through, adjust your comfort, auto, dynamic settings, individual settings. This does have the air suspension, so you can raise and lower it right there.
going back, you can go back to vehicle settings. I'm sorry, you go back to your normal settings, light and visibility, and you can actually go into your interior lighting and you can adjust all kinds of different colors. As you guys saw, I had it on the Spider-Man theme, so it's red and blue. Looks incredible because Marvel and Audi are the same thing, right? Coming down here, you're going to have more information, but this is going to be just climate based. So you can do things like adjust your seats. You do have massage settings on here. So if I click that and then come up here and swipe, you're gonna have all of your massage settings right there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you have 3 different intensities, so that's pretty cool. And of course you can adjust the seats however to your liking, heated and cooled here in the front, all of your temperature settings. You can raise and lower your wing right there, automatic start stop, all kinds of different things like that, traction control, drive select, hazards. You're going to have your parking sensors with your camera, start stop, volume. I love this shifter, perforated leather. Park is going to be right there in the middle, foot in the brake, push this all the way up to pull up your camera, 360 view, and if you turn the wheel, not only do the lines turn, but the actual camera view turns ever so slightly. Not sure if you guys can see that. So it's actually a wide angle view, and then what it does is it slightly opens up more of the angle as you turn the wheel. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Cup holders here, electronic parking brake. Armrest is pretty nice. Also, I love this wood grain here, it's really cool. You're gonna lift this up. Wireless charging pad, 2 USBs in there with an SD. Not a lot of space in there though, unfortunately. Then coming to the glove box, tons of space. Here is your window sticker so you guys can see the final sticker price right there. It is $106,240. And then coming up top, you're going to have frameless mirror design. You've got this nice area here with touch sensitive lighting, area to open and close your moonroof. Vanity mirror right here with your LED light, and that's pretty much going to be it. So that's all for the front, and then we're going to go ahead and hop in the back and we'll check out the room.
All right, so coming to the back of the S7, I have the passenger seat set to where I would sit. I'm 6 feet tall, and I've got a good amount of room. So I've got about 2.5, 3 inches. My feet room is fantastic. You have a large hump here in the middle, so third passengers may have a little hard time straddling this. You do have air vents back here. You have all of your touchscreen information here. Looks great at night because it lights up and it's just a really good look. Full Alcantara back here. You have 2 lights, full LED of course. Grab handle here, speaker here, another vent here off on the side pillar, an area to hang dry cleaning, and folding down the armrest, you do have your cup holders here. Very interesting setup. You just push that and it kind of goes out. I like the ones that are basically like embedded into the armrest. I feel like those are a little bit more sturdy, but that's just my observation. And then here you've got a little bit more storage space as well, but it's very shallow. Other than that, the seat quality is good. My headroom is not that great because of that aggressive slant on the outside. It cuts into headroom. So I'm 6 feet tall. My hair is being pressed up against my head, so I could use a little bit more room. But if the person in front of me were to scoot up, I could slouch a little bit more, and then at that point I can be decently comfortable. But I think I wish for a little bit extra headroom, in which case you could go for something like an A6. But that's pretty much it for the back. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk space. All right, so coming to the back of the S7. So exact same storage space as the A7, and there's a button right underneath here. You're gonna push that, it's gonna open up. I love the fact that it's a lift gate because getting things in is so easy. And as you guys can see, there's tons of room back here. Underneath the floor, you are going to have a little bit of stuff. So basically you just have your fix-a-flat kit. You're going to have your subwoofer back here for your Bang & Olufsen sound system. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it underneath there. Obviously you don't have a spare. It just has run flats, and then you have your fix-a-flat back there if you need it. You do have these little tethers right here, so you can put nets, so that way things aren't rolling around making a lot of noise in the back. You have a little cubby here off to the left side, and it's really good amount of space. And then if you pull the seats down, you have even more room in the back seat. Let's go ahead and see what's under the hood. Okay, so coming under the hood of the S7, this is the exact same power plant you're gonna get in like the RS5 Sportback. So this is the 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine. It makes about 444 horsepower, around 443 pound-feet of torque, and that is of course going through Audi's Quattro system, and you are going to have an 8-speed automatic in here as well. It's a really good engine. It makes great noises, and this is actually lifted out of the Porsche Panamera. So this is a very high breed of engine, and it's really good. I quite enjoyed it in the RS5. I'm sure I'll enjoy it in this as well. So let's go ahead, get this on the road, and see how this thing does. All right, guys, so there's one thing I forgot to mention about the S7. So this is an A6, and there's something that the normal A7, and also like an Audi Q8 all have in common with this S7. So the S7 uses the 48 volt, like mild hybrid system, though it's really not accurate to say hybrid because it doesn't propel itself off of electric power at all. Basically what that does is it fills in that gap right before the turbo kicks in, and it helps make it a lot more of an initial surge, almost like having a supercharged vehicle instead of a turbocharged vehicle. And it helps power things like the start stop, makes it more efficient, that way it doesn't have like a big jerk to it, helps power a lot of your accessories and things like that. So it's really, really cool, and it's something that 2.9 twin turbo V6 has that even the RS5 doesn't have. So that is one benefit to the S7, and what it does equate to is having a more comfortable and a little bit more smooth of a ride. So it definitely makes this S7 more of a grand touring vehicle versus the RS5.
All right, you guys, so driving the Audi S7. I just want to say, in doing what I do, it's really hard to not have a favorite car. It really is. I drive so many cars, and obviously everyone's different, but you know, this has got to be one of my favorite vehicles. I think my dream car would be like a, you know, RS6, RS7, but this is such an impressive vehicle for what it is. The tech, the power, everything looks, it's great. So driving this thing, how does it feel? Well, first of all, I have it in dynamic mode. Even in dynamic mode, you still have that super light steering, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I would rather have much tighter steering, just because it feels more engaging, it feels more involving. So that's my first knock on this vehicle, is it needs a little bit heavier steering and dynamic. It doesn't feel massively different from Comfort. Comfort is literally like turning a dial. It's that light. But Audi knows their customers better than I do, and maybe they love that about the cars. Comment below, let me know what you guys think. If you own an Audi, do you like the light steering? Do you wish it had heavier steering? Head-up display is fantastic. I love this gauge here in the middle, and it just looks so cool having that nice little like hockey puck style rev counter, just like you get in the RS cars. So it's nice to see it trickle down to something like an S7, and it's just a good feeling vehicle. You look around, you see Alcantara, you've got your popped up tweeters, the highest in leather everywhere. Nice feeling steering wheel. It is a little wide though. It's a big steering wheel. It almost feels like those old school like lowrider chain steering wheels where they're just big and thin. That's kind of what it feels like, if I'm being super honest. I wish it was a little bit smaller, a little bit thicker. So that's probably going to be knock number 2. And other than that, the electronics are fantastic, and it's pretty much the same as a normal A7. Now, the difference is obviously going to come whenever you start driving this thing. So I'm gonna pop it into manual mode. I'm gonna use these paddles. Now the paddles feel a little plasticky, so that's probably knock number 3. And I do wish they were like the nicer ones that you get on like the newer RS vehicles. I just don't think it's too much to ask to put it on something like this. So downshift, very fast. Ooh, we have a nice little pop there in the back. And then on upshift, it's just, oh, it has got a loud upshift pop, you guys. Whew, sounds really good. I wonder if I can get this window down a little bit back here. Here we go. Got a nice little like go. Woo! Yeah, it sounds good. It's my buddy Sean. Sean, what do you think of the sound? How do you think it sounds, man?
Awesome.
Yeah, I love when it downshifts too. Ooh. Yeah, it kind of has the same sounds going on as an RS5 Sportback. though those cars are going to be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more theatrical. Obviously, they're RS vehicles. This is just an S7. So you get a little bit of a neutered experience, but not by much. And even when you're shifting at, like, let's say, I'm at 20, right below 3,000 right now. And if I shift, you still have a little bit of that burble going on. So I do quite like that. And yeah, the shifts are great, they're fast. The acceleration is good, it pulls really strong. I've had cars in front of me this whole time, so I'm gonna pop over to the left, that way I can get a little bit of free space. I'm gonna pull in here and pop a U-turn, but this is gonna be not inconvenient for you guys at all, because I'm about to skip ahead. And through the magic of editing, I am back on the road, so let's go ahead and... Whew. Man, geez, it just echoes. It's so good. It pulls really well. It's not anything that'll just melt your face off, but it's plenty. It'll give you a good push in your seat, a good smile on your face. This is a good car. It really is. And I can see someone buying this if you don't want all of the aggression that the RS vehicles have to offer. You don't want to go that hardcore. This is a great balance. This would be, in my opinion, one of the best daily drivers if you want something that's sporty, luxurious, comfortable, well-equipped, high-tech, just super solid feeling. I mean, these are one of the first vehicles to come to mind for sure. It's great. It still rides good, even in dynamic mode, going over this broken pavement. You guys can probably tell that I'm even going over broken pavement. And then if I throw it into, let's see here, comfort mode, throw it back into automatic, it's a typical Audi, you know, really just easily maneuverable steering. Everything feels real soft, compliant, sort of floaty in a way, but not too much to where it just feels completely dead. You've got a little bit of feedback still coming through the steering wheel, very vague, but you know, when you're driving around in comfort, you're not looking for steering feel. You're just headed to your destination, maybe listening to some music, talking to your passenger, and of course you've got the convenience of having all that luggage in the back. It's just a great car, you guys. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review as well. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out Audi of Fort Worth. If you live in the DFW Metroplex, let them know Forrest Auto Review sent you, so tell them, hey, I saw his review, I came here. Ask for Ben Garcia. He is my guy. You guys will love him, and he's just an incredible person all around. But thank you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd love to have you guys follow for more car content. Check out my merchandise, all that cool stuff, and I will see you guys in the next review. Y'all take care. Bye.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's
Before we get to the interior, one feature. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
We can hang
Okay, you're good.
on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?